Hello there and welcome to the Antlered Crown. I am Elwin and you can find me on Instagram, TikTok and YouTube, where I go live Wednesdays and Fridays around 9 PM Central Standard Time. You can purchase a private reading from me via my Etsy, which you can find the link to in the description below. So, a few other things. You can also schedule virtual consultations one-on-one with me via Square. I have a podcast, also known as the Antlered Crown, listed where podcasts are found. You can support me on Patreon, and all these links are also below. So, this will be for Earth signs, but we're going to do it a bit differently from now on because we're going to be doing sort of monthly readings. Okay, so they may be a bit longer. So we're going to narrow down what your reading is by your actual sign, not just the element. So as far as earth signs go, this is for the earth signs. So if you are a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn, this is for you. So, firstly, I'm going to start with Taurus, but if you look underneath in the descriptions, you will find the timestamp for your specific reading of your star sign. Thank you. Now, beginning with Taurus, let's have a look at some of the present challenges to begin with for the month of May that may arise, that you may encounter. Oopsie. That you may encounter. Sorry. Okay. Let's have a look. So there's a lot of someone else's stuff going on for some of you Tauruses. Okay? What we have is communication. Someone perhaps confiding in you, feeling that you are a reliable source, okay? That you are trustworthy. They may confide in you. However, this can take attention from your own obstacles. This can take attention away from your own projects that you are working on. All right? Now, what are these things that they may be confiding in you with? Well, this is where it gets tricky because the Tower is the change, the catalyst for change. So someone may be going through something in their life that is creating an upheaval, a lot of things. They feel that they may be torn between things and they don't know what's going on. Not necessarily you, okay? I feel this is more that you are feeling that burden of someone else. You are getting pulled in to someone else's thing, if this makes sense. Now, what are some other things that this can affect for you? Well, there is the Four of Wands. This matrimony, a relationship, a cooperation, a celebration of those things between two people. Yet the Nine of Wands, sorry, the Nine of Wands here is basically a need to sort of lean on someone, perhaps due to this, perhaps someone who is too close, you're not aware, is kind of just allowing a lot of their toxic, a lot of their inadvertent negativity because of the way they are feeling to kind of seep out and kind of muddy up your waters as well. Understanding that you want to care. Okay, Taurus? Understanding that you want to care, but remember to draw a line Okay, because otherwise, soon enough, your waters will be muddy too. And you don't want that. You don't need that for what's about to come, for what's happening in your life. This is all about change and progression right now. There is building things up. You don't need that right now, okay? So remember that, as they say, not my monkeys, not my circus, okay? Let's have a look here when it comes to forms of career for the Taurus, okay? So, career, Taurus. You naturally are headstrong, Taurus, willing to keep going on. But why are you willing to keep going on when it comes to forms of career, comes to forms of work, trying to get ahead in life? Why? Is it because you are too set in your ways to change or deviate from the path that is laid before you? Or is it because you are too stubborn? I have 2 Taurus daughters. I know that they're stubborn. It's okay. It's one of the most endearing qualities of a Taurus because it makes them incredibly loyal. That's not the point. The point is that your flexibility when it comes to career, when it comes to embracing change and accepting forms of criticism. The criticism comes, good or bad. The moment it passes over to you, you decide whether or not it's going to be destructive and constructive. This here, you are carrying so much. There is an overburden of things, but it's almost as though that every other criticism is carried as a burden rather than imagine that these ones were criticisms. Stop carrying them and use them to build something, a cart, I don't know, something that's beneficial to carrying things that you actually need, that are useful. Look at it like that, okay? The Knight of Pentacles. Here, you want to provide, you want to create and make these safe things financially for people. That's great. It's great. But what good is it if you don't reserve some of that for yourself, some of that energy, some of that peace of mind? It's fine to give others peace of mind, but not at the risk or the sacrifice of your own mind completely. Like going around and around in circles, worrying about these things. Understandable, perhaps. But you have that decision. This comes back to that conscious decision. What am I going to do with these things that I view as negative? And that's all it is. Someone can give you a criticism and call you all the profanities in the world. It is up to you whether or not you just completely ignore all of the unnecessary derogatory comments, but look between those to the break it down to its raw essence, to that criticism. How can that benefit me? And if it can, I will accept it. I will evolve and adapt with it. If it does not, if it is just purely out of spite to hurt me or through envy or jealousy, however, I do not think this is the case as much, then don't worry about it. Return to sender. Okay? You have that power. You can't control what other people do with that, but you can. There is this form of pride. This comes from the stubbornness in many ways, because being strong. But you know what? It's fine, because you deserve to be proud. You deserve all these things. And instead of being in a form tenacious because you may not have had them in the past or you still want them now, do not look at it as an injustice, and look at it as an empowerment to the reason why you will achieve such things. Okay? as I said, possibilities, these things going on in private, like, areas of your life. You don't need other people coming in with their crap, just and just tipping all the waste into your nice, cool, clear lake of calm. Okay, that's not how you help people. It's like, oh no, you're completely poisoned your life. Well, here, come and poison mine, and then we will share in the misery together. That's not helping someone. Okay, sometimes you can't help another person when it comes to these things. They have to sort out their own stuff. All right, you can be an ear, but don't take it on, especially if you are of an empathic nature. Now, the next one is love. What are we looking at for love? For Taurus, for the month of May. What could be coming? This deck of cards is getting smaller, but I commit to the decision because I've already pulled some things, and there are a few bits here to do with love for some of you. Okay, so no, you flew out. So this is what's coming in here. Oh, just comes back to this thing. There is this very strong kind of message of, I want to come in and fix everything. Okay? Because that's what you do. You're a fix worker. You're a fix worker? You're a fixer. You make things work for people. You want to help people that you care about. You're practical. Okay? You're loyal. You're trustworthy. But at the same time, you criticize yourself more than anyone else. So when you don't achieve for the sake of others, you take that burden also. You end up just getting sucked down into things. Here is a realization to stick to what you are doing. Don't get deviated from the path here, okay? Very important. Don't get deviated from your path. If there is something going on in terms of your personal life, when it comes to love, when it comes to relationships, things like that, your personal life, family life, whatever, do not deviate from what is best for you and the relationships around you, okay? There is here this form of, now this usually means money, but I don't think it's money as much as a form of spirituality. Your spirituality is something perhaps that you may have recently or reevaluated or recently come into, okay? Now, that's fine. Great. But it's the same thing here. Your spirituality must merge flawlessly, seamlessly with your mundane, with your everyday life. Okay? You can't, so many people, and I feel especially for you guys, so many people try to find that difference. Like, oh, now I'm going to put on my special meditation robes and sit on the floor and meditate and listen to Enya and try and communicate with my higher self. No, that doesn't always work for you, Taurus. Okay? You, through what you do in your life, as you live, that is your spiritual journey. The two are one. How you live is your spiritual journey. Okay? It's not just meditating every now and again. It's not just trying to uplift yourself and uplift others around you. It is the life you live. Okay? And this is why I think this one here, this form of self-empowerment, to realize this, can give you strength to live as you set the standard of your own spiritual practices, your own beliefs. can be a huge, huge boon to the progression that you make just in life in general. Treat everything as though your spirit depends on it. Now, that doesn't mean second guess. That doesn't mean think about it over and over again. This simply means caring for yourself, your own spiritual welfare, living by that standard. You will find huge changes, not only in your spirit, but you will also find huge changes in the world, your environment, and how others may react to you. Okay, so that was the reading for Taurus. So this is Virgo readings for the month of May. So let's have a look at some of the present challenges regarding Virgo, okay, and some of the things that may come up in this month ahead for you. Okay, some of the things to look out for, some of the things that you can perhaps avoid if necessary, you know, all those things, all the good stuff. Okay, now let's have a look, if I can just remember how to shuffle. Okay, let's have a look. Virgo, there are blockages here. There are things to do with the past here. This is the blockage. Oh, feeling sorry for ourselves. Perhaps. Want to curl up? Want to hide? You can't, I'm afraid. But you'll be glad you didn't. What we have, the Eight of Wands, the blockages, the hurdles. There are reasons for such things, but some of these are because of thoughts of the past. There may be things popping up. You may be reliving something. There may be traumas or even triggers from the past that very easily can put you back into that state of mind. This kind of vindicates the feeling, the original feeling of I want to just hide. I want to run and hide. Okay? You can't run and hide right now. Okay? You can't run and hide. There's work to do. This is very much going to be your summer, I have a feeling. Okay? But you don't give up now. Okay? Don't relax now. You've been manifesting. You've been trying. You've been just fighting all the way. And you have been gaining ground. Okay? And the further you get, the easier it gets. Sorry, I'm a bit stuffed up. I am still just coming over the cold, getting through the other end of it. So there are forms of indecisions about things. You may be wobbling a bit. It's fine to wobble, just don't fall. Okay? There is a payoff here, spiritually as well, to overcome something, to face down a fear. There are challenges that are being presented, but you can see the potential in leaping over those obstacles, over those hurdles. You can see the prize. You can see what would happen. You know, you just have to prove to yourself. And sometimes when you don't move, you don't take that forward sort of inertia, I guess, that you forget that feeling of accomplishment. It's no time. There's no time to hide. There's no time to run. This is a calling. Okay? Now, once again, they are going over there and they're staying over there because, ow, my eye. There we go, eyelash, sorry. Now, let's have a look at career. Okay, career for Virgo. Jobs, education, money, finance. Something you may be planning, something you may be even saving. Who knows? Let's have a look. Okay. Saving, yeah. Ain't that the way? You may be saving something. You may be looking and thinking, yes, I'm making headway. There may be, in the month ahead, something that happens here. Something that is a show of humility, a show of strength, a show of benevolence that causes you financially to step aside from something, to give up something, to donate something, or to spend something. Okay? Where you may have been saving, you may have been making good progress in some way to do with finance. Yet, it feels as though daylight robbery, deep down it does. You know it's not, but it feels a bit like it. Like, damn, I was making, I was getting somewhere. You weren't, though. It's still to come. What you have, Virgos, what you are after, you're playing the long game, okay? And it has a big payoff, okay? Remind yourself of that. Remind how far you have come already, okay? And then give yourself a slap in the face and say, now I'm going to stop being silly. There's enough of that mucking about, and let's get on with it, all right? That's the kind of message to take from that. Please don't slap yourself in the face. It hurts. But, metaphorically, slap yourself in the face. Because don't look at the little losses when you have had and you're going to have such big wins. Looking at those little things that seem to add up to big things. Of course they add up to big things because you're remembering all of them. As human beings, we always focus on those little things and they add up into a great big beast of a thing. But we don't look at the good things the same way because the good things are always big. So therefore they stand alone. Add those good things up. Add your own good things. Take pride in where you are and what you've accomplished, and know and be safe in assurance that there is more to come. Speaking of which, the promise of this, the 10 of Pentacles, and this is safety and security. There's this old fella there with his 2 dogs. His family is in the background. He's old. He's wearing rich clothing. He has somewhere to sit. His life is in its winter, but he is happy. He has earned everything around him. He has worked for it, and now he is reaping this reward. This is that moment in time where someone stops and realizes, I've succeeded. They get so caught up in trying to get there that they completely forgotten that they're there already. It's just not what they thought it would be. It's so much more. Because it lasts. This, it's okay to admit that you're there. It's okay to bask in it. It doesn't mean that it's all going to get taken away now. Okay? The Emperor. This, in that sense, is when it comes to decisions. You may have to make decisions. Difficult ones when it comes to finance. But let your instinct, this month, let your instinct guide you. When it comes to memories, you cannot save memories. You cannot invest in memories. You can money, but not memories. Sometimes that's better. Okay? And remember that if there is something like that, this is what makes you feel good. Don't supplement that for a few extra numbers in the bank, because there will always be more. As sure as eggs is eggs. Taking action. Do not get stuck in that feeling of loss. Do not get stuck in that feeling of, I missed out on opportunity, whether it was job, whether it was finance, whether it was investments. Don't worry about that. Keep going. So you missed it. Don't get thrown off your game. Keep going. Now, love relationships for Virgo. When it comes to it, emotions run high in Virgos, and that's when they take action, but usually detriment to what they're trying to achieve when it comes to talking to someone about something. This is one thing that I need to say before I even pull the cards. There are confrontations when it comes to love, yet an offering of peace. Sometimes, as hard as it may be, humility can work in your favor. You catch more flies with honey than you do with, I don't know if that's true. Probably. But you understand what I'm saying, because, honey's sticky and the other one isn't as much. Don't worry about that. I'm getting lost in my head. So that can be why. Okay? Sometimes biting your tongue, accepting choosing the humility of something is not a weakness. Okay? Try to get past that. The world, in a sense, the bigger picture, reminding yourself, like that other card, of what you have right now can work in your favor. It is your friend. Sometimes when you say nothing and there is silence, it can be your friend. Okay? It may require for you to take the brunt in certain situations regarding love, regarding a relationship. But it is not unnoticed. It is something that down the line will even itself out. It is not forever. But right now, it is in your best interest not. Now, I don't usually say that to people. I usually would say someone, if you feel that you need to say something, then you say it. If you feel, then communicate it. However, right now, there's this feeling of, if you were to communicate that, it would spew, and it would be regurgitated in a strange mishmash form that would not come across the way you want it to, and then it would spiral. Basically, it would become a vicious circle of trying to make it better and making it worse. That's what I'm trying to explain. Instead, hold on to the things. Try to let go of certain aspects, certain things that may annoy you. Instead, focus on the wonderful things that are possible. Okay? As far as new love goes, for some of you Virgos, that love makes it so much richer when the love of the self is on par with it, if not more. Probably more, to be honest. Not in a big-headed way. So, that's the reading for Virgos for the month of May. Next and lastly, for the earth signs for the month of May is Capricorns. So, what is in store first? Okay, what challenges may be resolved? What challenges may occur? What things may happen, good and bad, for Capricorns in the month ahead? Okay. A lender but never a borrower be. Some of the same cards, but different formatting from different ones. This here, the Knight of Pentacles, financially, there is some form of ease. However, it seems to come from someone externally in your life. Yet, there is this pride is hurt, perhaps. More to this, there is the Devil card, the link to money, the tie to money, in order to rely on others, not charity as such, but nevertheless having to rely on others. It can be difficult when times are hard, if this is you, Capricorn. But don't be stubborn. It is part of the journey. It truly is part of the journey. And because of this, do not shy away from something that is offered. I said in one of the other ones, and it is the same here, humility can be a very good trait, and one that we are taught as a weakness, but it is not. This can be the stepping stones, the hand that lifts you up to the first run of where you want to be. Now, that's the general sort of message, okay, in general for Capricorns. But there is more. There is always more. This, we're not going to look at those. We're not going to look at those because we know that was there. But for this, let's first look at career. So, jobs, work. If you're looking for work, Capricorns, okay, let's see. Excuse the noise. Let's see if there's anything here that needs mentioning for the month ahead of May. Right. What's got you so serious lately? What's got you so serious? Something's shaken you, perhaps. I mean, not in the sense that, oh, come on, we've got to grow up, pull our socks up. No. It is much more than that. There is a driving force, but it is from a fear of something. I mean, necessary in some ways. It is a conquering force. It's to get things done, the catalyst to do things. But nevertheless, it's there. And it's almost as though there's been this calling out, this exposure to something. To look at the more long term, and when it comes to the investments of yourself, of where to invest in life, what to do. Now, This, all well and good, but don't forget jovialities, okay? Don't forget to smile and enjoy, okay? Yes, it's okay to, be driven, to be focused on something, even when fear sometimes is perhaps the driving force to it originally. But don't forget to have peace there. Don't forget to laugh and love, because otherwise, what's the point? Quite honestly, what is the point? There is cooperation with others here in a workplace environment, and I feel almost that you may forget that. It isn't a one-person race. Unless you work in a lighthouse, then most likely it is. But there are usually others around you. Okay, the chances of a Capricorn who works in a lighthouse seeing this. They're rare, but never impossible. But the cooperation between people, trying to find that even sort of keel, trying to find similarities between you and others. Don't disconnect yourself from people in workplace environments when it comes to finance here, because you'll miss out on many opportunities that will get you to where you want to be, but be happier as well while you do it. Okay? This may be a feeling as though you feel like only you can carry certain things out. Feeling like only you can take the brunt of that burden. Only you can truly do what it is that you want or what you feel is expected. That's fine. But everyone is different. Everyone. And you have to remind yourself during this month that some people, like, you look to the left of you and there may be someone, say you're all digging a trench. You look to the left of you, someone may not be going as fast. You look to the right of you though, someone may be going twice as fast as you are. Everyone is different. It doesn't mean you're the best at it. Doesn't mean they're the worst at it. But they also may be trying their best. We don't always know what's going on in here and in here. People can hide it well. Now, love. Well, there is pain among you Capricorns when it comes to love. What is it? So you want to turn away, perhaps? You want to forget it happened? No. Don't forget. Never forget something happened if you are to walk away. Hold on to that. Remember it. It will serve you good. It will serve you well, especially if you behaved decently in reaction to something that hurt you where love is concerned. Take pride in that. Build on that. Because not everyone does. The Hierophant. There are matters here if you have just come out of a relationship, if it has been heavy, if you are in pain. There are certain things here that are happening, and there are reasons. Almost this feeling as though something is coming back around. a messenger, communications, through a form of work even with someone, something that is picked up that was once left behind. This may be relevant for you. But right now, you are what's important, you are what counts, and you still first must heal and build yourself up from that. It's unbelievable sometimes how people will just go straight into another relationship, the whole rebound thing. But then they end up feeling this attachment, and then, and the foundations are already laid and they're crumbly. You've built it on porridge. Just be patient. Take a few months. Okay? This is not a judgment. It's just, I know you want to forget, and it seems the best way to forget, but taking those few months here help you so much for what's to come. You just have to believe, trust that it's going to come. Then you'll be more patient because you know it's there. It's not going anywhere. Now, those of you with families, especially those of you in relationships, there may be a transition as a family, as a whole. There may be something new that you're getting used to. Maybe you've moved. Maybe it's a new job. Maybe it's a new pet. Maybe it's a new car. I don't know. But it's something new and it involves family. You are not leaving behind an opportunity. You are not leaving behind something that had promise. You are simply improving upon it as a whole, as a unit. Keep that mentality, keep that energy going forwards, okay? There are so many more nice things to come your way. As I keep saying, and it's so true, you look forwards. Don't keep looking behind you because you're not going that way. It's getting further away. There's no point. It's not going to chase you. Just keep going forwards. This, once again, family, but this is the long term. This is all the wonderful things to look forward to and all the wonderful things that can happen along the way. As long as you have someone there who loves you, you are always home. And that is the reading for Capricorns. So, I hope this helps. And please remember to watch for each aspect of the self, because your sun is your star sign. Yeah. Your moon is your emotional hidden self. It is your childlike, instead of your sun is who you grew up to be. Whereas your rising is more like how you relate to others around you in that environment and how they interact with you. Your personality that you display for others, that you project. So these can also work on that level for you too, naturally. Thank you for coming to my channel. Please like, comment, subscribe and share if the reading resonated. I hope you all have a blessed month and I hope to see you in it. Goodbye.